Welcome to the Pieces of the Past Resumed, a film project in honor of Jim Reis, who wrote the original Pieces of the Past column for the Kentucky Post. With this project, we will bring you history stories about the people, places, and events of Campbell County to enlighten your understanding of our great county. Our show today is about Charles Campbell Speers and Elizabeth L. Martin. Many of our Campbell County residents know about the Speers Hospital in Dayton, Kentucky. Hundreds of babies were born there. Hundreds of people died there. It opened in 1897 and closed in 1973. But how many know the story behind the hospital and the woman who made it happen? This is a painting of Elizabeth Martin Speers, also on display at the Historical Society. Elizabeth Martin Speers was born in London, England in 1818, and with her parents immigrated to New Orleans when she was young. It is not known why her family chose this place, but it must have seemed as an adventure. Charles was born in Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania in 1821. It is not known what motivated him to make his way to Galveston, Texas, where he became involved in the steamboat business, moving goods between Galveston and Houston. Texas declared itself an independent nation, the Republic of Texas, from Mexico after the Texas Revolution in 1836. Attracted by the rich lands for cotton plantations and ranching, tens of thousands of immigrants arrived from the United States and around our new country. In 1845, Texas joined the United States, becoming the 28th state when the government annexed it. Elizabeth married Charles the 2nd of March, 1846, in Galveston, Texas. In 1850, the Speers were living in Houston, Texas, and owned 5 slaves in their household. The black males working with Charles moving lumber and cotton off of his plantation. In 1860, the Speers had 25 slaves, and during the Civil War, they made their fortune with a cotton plantation outside of Houston. Cotton became a cash crop for the war efforts, and on the backs of slaves they owned, Charles and Elizabeth made a fortune. When the Union blocked ships from leaving the ports unless they pledged allegiance to the North, Speers had a strong business sense and did so. It was not an ideological one, but a business one. After the Civil War, the Speers left the South and moved to Cincinnati, where they retired. Here they lived until 1883. Then the Speers moved to Dayton, Kentucky, living in this house at Berry and Jefferson until the death of both of them. The house is now the Dayton Eagles building. Charles Campbell Speers died at his home March 20th, 1885, and was buried in Spring Grove Cemetery in Cincinnati. Outliving him by 9 years, Elizabeth spent the remainder of her life planning how to use their wealth to the greatest benefit of her community. Elizabeth Speers died August 13, 1894, at her home and was buried in Spring Grove Cemetery. Her funeral was heavily attended by the community, and it was said that the bells of the local firehouses, schools, and churches all rang out in her memory. The sum of her estate was valued at $200,000, and accounting for inflation, this would equal over $5 million in today's money. Besides family, she gave money to the St. Joseph Orphan Asylum and the Campbell County Protestant Home, showing an obvious interest in the plight of children, even though she did not have any. The real surprise came when her will was probated, and it was found that $100,000 had been set aside for the building of a hospital in Dayton to be named after her and her husband. She named 4 trustees who would be responsible for the building and running of the new hospital. C.W. Nagel, the mayor of Bellevue, John Trapp, and Dr. Charles B. Schofield. Be sure to visit the Campbell County Historical and Genealogical Society in Alexandria, Kentucky, to see more of the Speers Hospital collection. Thank you for joining us on Pieces of the Past Resumed.